Has anyone made a giant impact on your life? A teacher hasn't made a big impact on mine. Most teachers I had in the past have been boring or negative, but I will remember what Mr. Sullivan has done for a long time. Mr. Sullivan was always nice and had positive feedback. He was fun, inventful, and energetic as he proved what he did in school. Mr. Sullivan always had exciting things going on after school that were very fun. I remember when I first got into 4th grade, I was in his homeroom. When I was in 3rd grade, I heard that he was a great teacher. I was so excited when I got him. When it was the end of the year, instead of working on projects, we played games and signed t-shirts. I signed up for a painting activity after school. I heard from people that it was really fun. When there was a big test coming up, I didn't know a lot of the things that we had to know. He helped me learn some ways that I could learn them easier. Mr. Sullivan was one of the funnest teachers I had. Mr. Sullivan was very inventful with all the projects and things we did. One of the projects that I remember fondly was the one that we had to make paintings of something in the wild. I couldn't think of anything to do, and he gave me an idea for something to come up with. Mr. Sullivan always made projects fun. When we were studying something that isn't interesting, he would do anything it took to make us stay awake. Mr. Sullivan always thought of something that would make us anything boring interesting. Mr. Sullivan was always upbeat when we were doing an activity. When it was a field day, he would always cheer for the losing team to try to get them pumped up. It always seemed like he was in the game himself. He would sometimes even help us in the projects. He would give advice where we needed it. When we had make 3-sided posters for the states, I did Oregon, and I didn't know too much about it. He stepped in and helped me think of a food that was special that we needed to show for the project. We all came together and shared our food for the states we did. Mr. Sullivan was so energetic that it seemed he was part of our class. Mr. Sullivan was one of the best teachers that I've ever had. He was a very fun and eventful person that I knew. He always had nice feedback for everybody that needed help. He was so energetic that it seemed like he was part of the class. Mr. Sullivan helped me in a lot of ways that no other teacher has.